The FIA president has mentioned a possible return to V10 engines. Is this possible? Is it likely? Or is it simply a PR stunt? Let's talk about it on Formula 454. Now I quote from FIA President Mohammed bin Sulayem, "While we look forward to the introduction of the 2026 regulations on chassis and power unit, we must also lead the way on future technological motorsport trends. We should consider a range of directions, including the roaring sound of the V10 running on sustainable fuel." So he doesn't really say that F1 might go that way. He's just saying we'll look at it, which is better than nothing. The last full season of the V10 was 2005, where they were making about 950 horsepower and revving upwards of 19,000 RPM. And the V10 just had the purest sound that everybody loves. I always remember when Lewis Hamilton is doing that interview in Abu Dhabi and Fernando Alonso is ripping around the track in his 2005 Renault, and that V10 is just screaming. And even Lewis just can't help but stop and listen because it's just so good. Let's have a listen to that.
We really don't know. We didn't get any long runs yesterday. Oh, that sound is just so good, man. I mean, it's the greatest sound of a racing car ever. I hate that they got rid of it.
Oh, my God. That is a good sound. If you don't like the sound of a V10, go watch something else. Seriously, it is just the best. The 3-liter V10s were replaced by the 2.4-liter V6s in 2006, and they were eventually capped to 18,000 RPM and made about 760 horsepower, give or take. This was done, according to the FIA, for safety reasons, because the V10 cars were reaching too high of speeds in a straight line. At Monza, we were seeing upwards of 370 kilometers an hour. Even tracks like the US Grand Prix at Indy, they were going over 350. So, yeah, the speeds were getting quite high. But fast forward now to 2014 and beyond with the turbo hybrid engines, and they're now making well over 1,000 horsepower, more than the V10s ever did. And we're regularly seeing speeds of 330 kilometers an hour or more. So I guess that safety concern for top speeds is gone. I don't know. I mean, safety has improved, but, they can't use that as an excuse anymore, I guess. Obviously, the turbo hybrids use a lot less fuel than the V10s, but they're also restricted to just 110 kilograms of fuel per race, whereas the V10s were unlimited. They could use as much as they want. This supports the Formula One FIA green narrative that they're going with, trying to be carbon zero by 2030. Then finally, there is the manufacturer interest. Supposedly, the turbo hybrids attracted manufacturers because they can apply this Formula One hybrid technology into their road cars. Really? In 10 years, what F1 technology have you seen go onto the road cars? I haven't seen split turbos. The motors, the hybrid motors, and the batteries are nowhere near as light or as efficient as they are in the Formula One cars. Not to mention, most manufacturers have been talking about going to full EV, full electric. We barely see hybrid cars even being made anymore. So I don't really buy that. I personally don't think V10s are going to scare manufacturers away. Prior to the hybrids, we had Ferrari, McLaren, Mercedes, Jaguar, Honda, Toyota, Ford Cosworth. I believe that there is a far bigger value in having a manufacturer brand in Formula One because it is by far the most viewed motorsport in the world. So there's huge value just having their name on it. I mean, let's be real. Most of these engines, they're manufactured by some specialty manufacturer, and these big name corporations throw their sticker on it. That is exactly what's happening with Ford right now. So, I don't think there's any worry about manufacturers leaving. So I do think that the V10s could be brought back and satisfy everybody's interests. We probably need to be fuel and RPM restricted, obviously sustainable fuels, making maybe 850 horsepower. and then probably a small electric motor for maybe like some sort of push to pass or whatever. You know, there's dozens of different variables you can put that together, but I do think it's possible. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen. I think this was a PR stunt because I think that Mohammed has made a lot of questionable decisions recently. Things like the swearing and whatnot. And I don't think his popularity is very high, so I think he throws out this V10 thing. The media jumps on it, and, it maybe thinks, oh, hey, maybe he's not so bad. But, sadly, I don't think it's going to happen because the FIA and Formula One have already committed to a path. They're going to far more electric power in 2026, and they're still headed for that goal of carbon zero by 2030. So the only way I think the V10s come back is if the popularity of Formula One and the viewership goes down enough that they have to use that as a crutch to bring the popularity back, which is so sad because everybody wants V10s. The drivers, the fans, obviously, even the designers. Adrian Newey says, bring back the V10. I think he said that. But anyways, everybody wants it, and for some reason they just don't want to do it. And it's sad that the only way that it might come back is that if there's enough complaints, there's enough backlash towards Formula One where it's actually hurting the sports and hurting the profits. So, anyways. What do you guys think? Do you think it's coming back? Do you think the V10s are realistic? Do you want the V10s back? Would a V8 be sufficient? Or do you like these hybrid power units that we're currently running today? Let us know in the comments. If you like the video, thumbs up. Subscribe for more videos. And as always, thanks for watching.